Good morning. We're here with George Cook of Farbank Sage Rio Reddington to discuss specifically the new Sage 1 fly rod series. George, we prepared a few questions for you. Rick Gersbeck, I'm Chris Daughters, George Cook in the camera.
Starting off, can you tell us how the Sage 1 is differing from the previous Z-Axis line?
Well, as a flagship rod for Sage, the Z-Axis set the bar at a very high level in terms of performance, fly casting performance, angling advantages. The one rod steps above that on a number of attributes. One is a first ever black blank known as Black Ice, which is a beautiful blank, goes very nicely with a number of reels, this 4200 and a platinum being one of them. The rod is a very, very low profile blank. If you take a look at it, this is a 5 weight, this is a 9.5 foot 6 weight with a fighting butt. Extremely low profile blank, very low profile ferrules, to the point where if we didn't wrap them with the thread set 6 or 8 feet away, you probably wouldn't even notice the ferrules. They're very, very small, very low profile. These rods have some attributes that really make them stand out in today's rod world. One, very lightweight compared to the Z-Axis, 18% lighter on average, and that had a high and a low across 22 models, of which is the introduction of 22 models in single handers, 390 to 1090, 3 through 10 weight across the board. For the spay switch enthusiasts that are certainly out there with bated breath, spay and switch in this family of rods, the one rod, are approximately 10 months out, and we're all waiting for that one, no doubt, me included. Lightweight, line speed producing tools, fly delivery system second to none. Line speed delivery with these is hellacious. I think yesterday, Chris, when we were out casting, along with the staff, we threw 4, 5, 6, and 8 weights. I think it was pretty demonstrable, the line speed advantages. A couple of the other things going on with these rods that are unique and very new that set them apart from not only the Z-Axis but rods anywhere, everywhere, is the fact that the construction matrix of these rods within the blank is taking the fibers and nesting them further down in the core, which creates several real true world attributes. One is strength via sectional density. One is an ability within that nesting to create a blank that gets rid of what we call torsional instability or wobble. In this, a caster coming and going is a directional movement with arm and rod as one, is essentially his aim point, arm and rod become one, and simply go to where the caster wishes to go. So mind, arm, rod are synchronized. This Konnetic Technology idea is a fabulous advancement in fly rods. The tracking attributes of these rods with the elimination of torsional instability is very notable. Accuracy is at a premium here. Line speed at a hellacious level. Okay. The other thing you see in these, which I think you guys picked up on yesterday, is the fact that as a caster, intuitively, you can pick up load point at the rod tip, but all the way down into a cork handle to where literally you're connected to this rod at all points throughout any given range of casting styles, directions, so on and so forth.
The rod did seem to load at a short line, at a long line, and medium line. I mean, it didn't matter too much. I mean, sometimes a fast action rod will have difficulty loading short. This rod did not.
No, they're going to play ball at point blank range to long range, accuracy, line speed. It's all going to deliver within this system. Again,
So is this new Konnetic technology that you're talking about, is that specific to Sage? And why did Sage choose that over some of the other nanotechnology that other rod companies are using these days?
Well, there's a number of great rods out there. You know, any trip out to the casting pond will certainly find that to be the case. The materials, the design, the work up to these rods, which was years in the making, I might add, with Jerry Seam, our chief rod designer at Sage, is such that we have access to a host of materials from a global marketplace. And in that, we felt that the materials, the design element, the fiber positioning, all this put into one package was superior to other things out there and available. Hence the one rod. And I think the things that you guys witnessed yesterday, whether it was the accuracy via tracking, line speed, the intuitiveness of the rod travel in your arm, so on and so forth. Again, there's some great materials out there, but putting things together in a way that creates both design perfection and performance advantages was key to the decision to the design of the one rod.
And this rod's been out and you fished it. You know, this is obviously it's just being introduced to the public, but you guys have been testing this rod in extreme conditions and tested its strength and all of that. Can you speak to some of your favorites here?
Well, I think a couple of my pets are the 490 being one, and the 697 here, which is a 9.5 foot 6 with a fighting bite. I always favor this type of rod simply because of the fishing I do, whether it be Alaskan oriented stuff with rainbows or lake fishing in places such as eastern Washington. The 490 has been one of the real pets. This happens to be a 590 with a very unique modified full welt grip. Looks very distinctive on these smaller rods in the 3, 4, 5 weight range. But I'm a big 6 fan, always have been. No doubt I'm sitting back like anybody else, just watering at the mouth waiting for switch spay.
Let's touch on lines a little bit. Do you have lines that you prefer on these rods?
Yeah, I do, Rick. There's a lot of lines out there that are suitable for whether it be casting performance values of line speed, load attributes, various fishing endeavors. Two of the favorite lines that I can speak of are right here before me. I'm a big fan of the Rio Gold on these rods because I think from the standpoint of seeing these rods light up in terms of line speed, tracking, accuracy, the attributes that really pronounce these rods, the Rio Gold is a lovely choice on these rods, particularly in 3 through 8 weight in freshwater application. The Rio Grande being a little bit heavy, typically a half size bump, which is to say a 5's a 5.5, an 8's an 8.5. This line will provide a deeper load in these rods while still maintaining a very high level line speed. Inevitably, anglers are going to choose lines for fishing conditions and methodology. A good example, we're into August. I'll be in Alaska soon, fishing rainbows and dollies in south central Alaska. So I'll end up with an indicator line on probably on this 697 right here. Pursue it to fishing methods, the call of the day, if you will. But I'm a huge fan, I would again note, of the Rio Grande as a floating line choice here.
Don't really need to up these rods though. I mean, some anglers have historically lined up Sage rods. I suppose that was before some of the line choices are available today, but there's no need to do that.
No, there's no need to do that in an old school sense of a literal one bump. There will be some of that. Sometimes fishing conditions dictate that with a closer range game being the norm versus a more wider, diversified fishing range. The Rio Gold for me plays this game very nicely as a dead-on line weight at all ranges. The beauty of the Rio Grande from Rio is that it's a half line size bump. So we're getting that advantage of some additional weight without bumping a whole line weight and changing the complexion of the whole thing. Meaning you've got a 6 on your 5, is it a 5, is it a 6? These rods don't need a bump up. A bump up will begin to dampen them in such a way that a lot of the performance values that are so keen here are begun to be lost. Okay. But nevertheless, these two lines are going to fit the bill for most trout fishing scenarios, east and west, Alaskan included.